Let's bring in the host of the Nothing But the Truth podcast, criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi. Bob, great to see you. Felony child neglect for this mom whose son shot the teacher, his 6-year-old son shot the teacher because she left the gun loaded. What do you think of that?
Well, yeah, Trace, I was looking up the law here, and in Virginia, what it says is that when there's an act or omission of care that was gross, wanton, or culpable as a reckless disregard for human life as it relates to a child, that is a felony charge. So I assume that the prosecutors are going to be making an argument with two things. One, that this child had a history of violent behavior in the school to the point where he had to be accompanied by a parent when he went to the school. At least that's what's being alleged in the media right now. The parents were not there, and that he had access to an unsecured loaded weapon, and those factors, prosecutors will argue, meet that element of the statute as a wanton and reckless disregard for the safety of that child, as well as those that he could have harmed.
And just for clarity, the attorney for the mom said back in January, quoting here, the gun allegedly used by the first grader accused of shooting his teacher in Newport News, Virginia, was kept on the top shelf of his mother's bedroom closet. Does that mitigate things at all, Bob?
No, I don't think it does at all, because the bottom line is the 6-year-old was able to get access to the weapon regardless of where they put it. The bottom line is, if you were going to be a responsible gun owner, you have to understand that the number one, and I'm a gun owner, the number one thing that you do is to make sure that nobody has access to your weapon, especially a child. So this is probably the problem, Trace, and this is why prosecutors are going to send a message here, is that you just can't think that you're doing okay. You don't have trigger locks. You don't have it locked away. You have it in a place where the kid obviously had access to it, which means your conduct by definition was reckless because the kid got it. And I add to it, a child who's alleged to have emotional, violent propensities makes it even worse.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you have this arrest or this charge of the parents, and then you go back to Michigan in 2021, that shooting Lauren Blanchard was talking about, of Ethan Crumbley, and you have that one. Does this seem like a new tack for prosecutors to be able to kind of go after the parents?
Yeah, I think so, without any question. I mean, when I was the county prosecutor, every county's different in what the chief law enforcement officer feels they need to do in order to eradicate whatever criminal law problems they have in their particular county. And every county has different crime problems, and prosecutors will emphasize different things. But when it comes to gun safety, do I think that nationally you're going to start to see that we will hold the parents culpable? Prosecutors trying to send the message of deterrence and responsibility if you're a gun owner? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment. Bob Bianchi, good to have you on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.